just lay up for Christmas. Like, you know what I'm saying. Stay strong. A holiday time spent alone is a blessing too. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Merry Christmas, you guys. It is December 25th, 2024. Yes, I am filming and posting the same day because I wanted to spend a little bit of my Christmas day with you guys. I'm going to be putting together this look, getting into an overview of my 2024, all the things that I've been through, all the things that I've gotten through, all the things that I've been blessed with, and we are just going to decompress and really soak in this whole year as we get ready. Make sure to stay tuned, like, comment, subscribe, and let's get ready together, y'all. I'm just about to pull my hair back and we are going to get into this year, okay? So once again, Merry Christmas. I love Christmas. I love the holiday season. I love this time of year. That will never change. As someone who does consider themselves no contact from like 95% of my family, it can be easy to view the holidays as a sad time, but I'm very thankful that, I don't know, I'm just blessed in the fact that it doesn't do that to me, I guess. I felt more alone surrounded by family than I ever have of it just being me, and I'm thankful that I'm able to not be sad and depressed during times like this. In one of my favorite songs, the artist says, "I'm alone but I'm not lonely," and that describes me to a T. I might be alone, but I am not lonely. I feel very happy, and I'm thankful this time of year. I'm prone to count my blessings and to look at how far God has brought me, where I'm coming from, where I'm going. The holidays, I don't care. They're gonna be a happy time for me, because even when I look back at my life, some of the worst moments in my life, the most depressing times, were always during the holidays, were always when it was cold outside towards the end of the year. And I just refuse to let that be my thing or my story, where the holidays come and I'm sad, or you know, seasonal depression. No, baby, I love Christmas. I love what this time of the year signifies. Even the concept of family and gathering, I will not forsake that. I've come to the conclusion a long time ago, the family dynamic that I want and that I'm aspiring to have, I will create for myself, and I'm completely fine with that. But with all that being said, I just want to take this time to reflect on this year, all that has happened in my life, all that God has done, because you guys, I cannot actually believe all the things that happened for me happened within this year. When I look back at this time last year, I was in such a completely different space physically. I won't say spiritually, because God was truly keeping me, but it just feels so full circle. To give a brief recap for, you know, the people who don't know this channel, this time last year, I was on winter break for my college, but I decided to stay in my dorms. Mind you, I go to college in the same city that I live, so the choice to not be with my family was completely because I did not want to. I just knew that wasn't the right thing to do. I spent the whole break in my dorm by myself, just me uploading YouTube videos, making videos, watching videos, praying, fasting. Like, that was what I was doing this time last year. And I was completely prepared to go into this year unhappy of sorts. I knew I wanted to, you know, obviously continue school and get a career. My family was funding that. And so to an extent, I was going to be unhappily reliant on them for the next blank amount of years until schooling was done. And then hopefully I was gonna get a job, get it, you know, just kind of follow that track. And so I was fully prepared to be unhappy. I was ready for God's will, meaning, God, if this is what you have for me, if this is the path that I'm supposed to take, okay. But I was just a little unhappy. In my mind, the best case scenario of what was gonna happen next wasn't gonna make me happy, but I was just going with the flow. If only I could talk to December 2023 Jalen. She had no clue what was coming, because I ended up moving by February 1st. Like by February 1st, I was in this place. And in December, I didn't even know I was going to be moving. Like I was fully ready to continue being in the dorm. So to just start the year off the way it did, being on my own for the first time, seeking and searching, because mind y'all, for the last half of January, I technically had nowhere to stay. God truly kept me during that time. And so to see now just how far I came, all the tangible evidence that God cares for me and about me, to just see all that, y'all just don't understand. One of the biggest things that I learned this year was that God truly cares about me. He answered prayers that I didn't even pray because I was too scared to pray them. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all have ever had desires in your hearts that you don't even pray about or like really devote yourself to get into, because you just kind of don't believe that it's gonna happen. You may wish for it or want it. That's what I'm living in now is for me. Like, I've always wanted to live on my own. I've always wanted to be independent. I've always wanted to live in a downtown area and have the complete life that I have now. But I never actually prayed for that, because in my mind, it was like, of course I want that, but I don't know. It was just something I never really prayed for. I just always desired for it. And for God to bring that into fruition in my life when I was ready to settle for a tumultuous couple years, it just brings me to tears every time. For the way he's kept me, the way he's provided for me, the way he's, shown me that he loves me, just by answering that prayer alone, by disproving lies that I even believed about myself, through showing me that I am capable of having certain things, of stewarding certain things, that I was ready for things that I didn't believe I was. Y'all, God has just been so good to me this year, and I'm just so happy. Like, I could never look at times like this where, maybe I don't have every single thing I want. I can never look at that as a reason to be unhappy. I just can't. I'm just so happy with everything that has happened this year. I don't want y'all to think it's just about the physical things. It's just about what they signify for me. And God knew how important these things were for me. And I feel like he knew I had given up on them, truly, because the last couple years had been really hard for me and on me. And I kind of just got into this mindset of thinking that it was just gonna be like that forever. Like, y'all, I truly believed that my life was just gonna be hard for some time. And so for it to be all that it is this year, it makes me so emotional. But I also just wanted to highlight the community and all the people I've met this year. I've met some great people this year. I've had some coworkers who I've gotten really close with. I found a church that preaches a good word for me. I've been to Bible studies. I've just been so happy living in everything. It's so hard to put it into words. I have a job where I feel cared for. I feel like the people that I work with have brought so many laughs into my life, many lessons. I've grown inwardly as a woman. Y'all know this year for me has been about womanhood, just figuring out what that looks like for me, living that out. Now, don't get me wrong, there has been many lows, many times where I had to relearn God. Because he has been so good to me this year, I really got to understand truly why we needed a savior. Because y'all, when you hear about all that God has done for me this year, he blessed me with a place. He brought me out of many bondages. He showed me my worth. He provided for me. He was a true carer for me. He showed me that he cares about the little details of my life. For him to show me all of that, and for me to still fall in certain ways, for me to still be hesitant to be obedient in certain ways, it truly showed me, y'all, we are screwed without God. I was reading Exodus this year. I am such an Israelite. I know we sit there and scold them. Like, how could you not trust God? Look at all he's done. Look at what he has, brought y'all from, and the words that he gives y'all. You should have full confidence. Y'all, I act the same way. For God to have done all that he did supernaturally for me, and for me to still question, doubt, it's something. And he has truly just showed me why he was the perfect sacrifice and how we will never be able to measure up. And that was truly something that weighed heavy on my heart this year, because I realized, dang God, I will never be able to do right by you. I just can't. I just can't. And I had to lean into the fact that Jesus already did it. And so you see, he had a reason to die for. So don't get yourself caught up in the fact that you'll never be good enough, because he already knew that. He knew that thousands of years ago, and he already paid the price for it. So just live through that. You know, I don't use that to abuse grace. I don't use that to condone sin or anything, but we do have to recognize that Jesus died for a reason, and that is because we are going to constantly not live up to what God wants, and rest in that. Because I learned just how truly unworthy I am, I did have a couple months stretch towards the end of this year where I just felt so unworthy. I was just beating myself up. I was just so hard on myself. And God had to come in and show me that I was his daughter. Show me that even though I'm a mess up, he knew that, and he loves me anyway. And on top of that, he still wants me to come to him, to come confidently to his throne. Like, y'all, we are so undeserving. We are so undeserving. There's nothing we can ever do. Y'all just don't understand. We are so undeserving. Because I think last year around this time, I was so heavy in my Bible, so fasting, praying, spending all my time with God, that I did get to a point where I was like, oh, I'm good at this. Like, I'm good at this Christianity thing. Like, I'll never, God, I'm so close to you right now. I'll never. And then when I did move back from him, in spite of all he did for me, it hit me like a ton of bricks. When I came back, I was like, ugh, I'm nothing. Like, I will never get this right. But he's yet been faithful even in that. Like, y'all, who are we to deserve this goodness? Nobody. I just look back at all my memories from this year, all the highs, all the lows, all the favor, all the everything. He's just there. And so I could never feel lonely. I could never feel sad. I could never look at this time as anything more than being in God's will and knowing that everything that he wants from me will come in his perfect timing. I have a video that I'm going to upload very soon before this month ends, and it's about what I've been going through recently. I had this really good job that I had to give up, and I'll go into details about that in that video. But just knowing he still has so much more for me. That job experience with God just showed me the best things I can come up with. He still has better. And I'm just so excited for what this year has. A couple of things that I want to work on. The best theme that I can use to describe what I'm trying to achieve this next year is diligent worker. I just want to be diligently working in whatever God has for me to be working in. I have a lot of goals that I really am looking to achieve. I'm trusting that God is going to work through me to achieve those things. And you know, I just want to be diligently working in whatever he has for me. Growing in the fruits of the spirit, that's a given. Growing in patience, love, kindness, long suffering, that's a given. That's a lifelong thing. Growing in his word, that's a lifelong thing. But you know, growing in my career, God really showing me where my space is in this life, showing him that he can trust me. I'm also not going to do the whole vision board thing, getting away from that and really falling into God, whatever you want from me, let it be that. Because nobody's gonna put an isolation season on their vision board. Nobody's gonna put financial hardship. Nobody's gonna put a depression on there. But what if that's what's coming in this coming year? Where I'm going for this year, God, wherever you have for me to be, let me be present with you in that. Let me be searching for you in every single season that you have me in. I have a lot of goals for my personal life. Obviously, I would love for this time next year to be even more independent, hopefully be in a different city, to have even more of a community, to be taking strides in all different facets of my life. I am more on the pessimistic side. That's like a defense mechanism for me, because if you expect less, then when less happens, you're not disappointed. And when more happens, you're just overjoyed. But I do believe that God isn't a God of, oh, every year it's going to get better. But I don't believe he keeps us stagnant. And I don't believe that life is just going to be horrible with God. Like, there might be horrible moments, but it's all part of a bigger, greater plan. We will see fulfillment. He does place desires in our hearts for a reason. And I do believe that a lot of the desires that I have, that I've prayed over, that I've fasted over, they're still there for a reason. So I'm just looking into God's fulfillment of those desires. My makeup is basically done. Quick little 10-minute beat. We don't do too much. And now I'm just going to go into doing my hair, and then I will be ready for my Christmas Day festivities. So I believe you guys get the gist. I'm not going into my full story of this year because I am making another video kind of going over what God taught me this year, trials and things that I have faced. But y'all get the point. I've been through a lot this year. God has showed up and showed out in my life, showing himself to be a personal God in my life, not just the God of all, but the God who knew the desires of my heart that I never even uttered, the God who saw things in me that I didn't even see in myself, and showed me who I am in his name. Just to speak a little more about what I'm doing today and what that means for my relationship with family. Today, I'm going to be filming and editing. It's just such a passion of mine. All the time, I pray to God about me doing YouTube, and I'm just constantly shown like this is a true knack I have. When people ask me about passions and things like that, this is one. Like, this is a hobby that I do that I love. When people ask, oh, what's one thing that you would do for free? It's this. I love making videos. I love editing videos. I love seeing things that I thought of come into life. So I'll be doing a lot of that. I also plan on going to the movies. I got a gift card for the movies maybe 2 years ago, or maybe this year. I don't know, but I've yet to use it. And I heard that the movies are open. So I will be going to see some movie. It really doesn't matter. And then I'll be going to one of my comfort restaurants. This is a place that I frequented a lot when I was living in the dorms. They have this burger and beignet that I love. Yeah, I'm gonna spend time sitting in gratefulness with God. It's crazy that I can say this is the happiest I've ever been, and I'm what looks like seemingly alone and by myself, but I would have it no other way. Just for anybody else, I don't know if any of y'all might be spending the holidays by yourself, or if you are surrounded by people but you feel like you're by yourself. Trust me, I've been there and I've done that. You are never alone with God. All the times that I've had God, I've been okay. It's when I didn't have God that life truly felt like hell on earth. If you have God, you have everything you need. He knows what to say. He knows how to speak to your heart. Sit and spend time with him. And I know I say that in such a casual way, and it probably sounds like boring, like it's not going to do anything, because maybe if you are a family oriented person and this is a time you don't get to spend with them, it might be hard. But I'm telling you, God formed you, God knew you. Of course, sadness is allowed to come in. I think I am probably a special case where I'm happier this way, but leaning on the Lord, I found complete fulfillment in that. I can say that maybe if this were like a year after year thing, maybe if for the next 4 years my Christmas was like this and I was just completely alone, no friends, no man, no kids, no nothing, I probably would be a little, understanding of how this can be a sad time. So, prayerfully, that's not the case. I don't think being alone for a prolonged amount of time is good at all. I do know God values community, but if this is just a one-off case of you being alone for this Christmas, we're in this together. I do plan on posting this today on Christmas Day. Leave it in the comments if you are feeling alone, girl. I'm right there with you. And just to talk about being alone on Christmas, because even that is an intentional decision I'm making, because there were a lot of people who came into my life this year who wanted to be with me, whether that was a relationship, a friendship. But I do have to say, when God closes the door, keep it closed, okay? Do not go back to situations, people, friendships, places, whatever that you know God does not want for you. Or if you are thinking of entertaining people or friendships that you know are not God pleasing just to not be alone, that's not the situation either. Because trust me, there were plenty of relationships in my life that I could have clung to just to not be so alone, because it is a little tempting. I always say this, I had more things going on when I was like 16 sneaking out than now that I'm grown and can truly do whatever I want to do. And that's because I'm way more intentional about who I allow in my life. I'm just praying my way through it, y'all. I'm just praying my way through it. I am truly just saying, God, I want what you want. But days like this, it really is tempting. Just call up on those people. Be like, let's just lay up for Christmas. Like, you know what I'm saying. But y'all, stay strong. Stay strong. I'm mainly talking to myself. Do not make decisions out of loneliness. Things that don't come from God ultimately don't fulfill you. And that's the main thing that I have to remember. God isn't telling me to not hang out with that gossiping friend because it's gonna be fun and he just doesn't want me to have fun. No, he knows that there's no fruit that's gonna grow there and that you may become corrupted in the process and then may not be able to steward certain things that he wanted for you because now you've regressed. You just don't know what the situation is, and I'd rather rely on the God who has been consistently faithful and wise when I've been unwise than trying to rely on myself. A holiday time spent alone is a blessing too. My testimony is made up a lot through isolation seasons, and I've always had a rocky relationship with like family and stuff. So being alone makes up my story, and it's basically something I'm used to, and it doesn't faze me in the way that I feel like it may faze other people. So I know it might be easier for me to adopt this mentality, but I just hope that y'all know you serve a God who doesn't do you injustice and that he is here with you. You just gotta acknowledge him. He never leaves. You do. If you are alone during this holiday season, lean on him for the comfort. Watch some movies. I specifically said that I was going to make sure that today was still good. I still want to have holiday traditions that I do, even if it is just me. I wasn't able to decorate how I really wanted this year. Prayerfully next year, y'all are gonna get all the decor. Like I said, I love Christmas. I love this time of year. When y'all start getting those videos, oh, you're gonna be sick of me. Especially since this holiday season is symbolic of Jesus. I know he wasn't born in December, and I know it's a little controversial to celebrate Christmas as a Christian in certain denominations, but ultimately, I have a lot of holiday cheer, and I'm just a jolly old girl during this time, so I'ma lean into that. But yeah, you guys, I am very happy with this year. Eternally grateful. This will always be a year that I talk about. Look back at how I felt in 2023 when I knew I was expectant of a change in my life, but I just didn't know what it was. And for it to ultimately be this, because y'all, like last year around this time, I knew a change was coming. I would even say it in my videos. I feel like God is doing something. I just don't know what it is. And he was. God is good even when you can't specifically see it, but that he was even kind enough to give me an inkling about it. I'm just gonna be so excited to tell, the future people I meet about this time in my life. To just really see how even right now, this time next year, I'm gonna look at this video and be like, oh, if only she knew what was coming. So I'm just so happy. This is a very joyful time of my life, and I'm glad I get to be able to document it through my passion and share it with you guys. So I'm just gonna tie my hair down for a good 5 minutes, and then I will come back and this Christmas get ready with me will be done. Okay, you guys, this is my Christmas 2024 look. Thank y'all so much for tuning into my video, and thank y'all so much for tuning into me this whole year. We hit 1,000 subscribers this year. We got the house, we got the car. I found so much favor in so many facets of my life. I could not be more thankful. I'm forever going to remember this year for how God showed up, showed out, and just affirmed me in ways that I didn't even know I needed. I hope y'all have a great Christmas, whether it's just you, whether it's you and your family, whatever stage of life you are in. Girl, enjoy this Christmas, live it to the fullest. I've had Christmases with loved ones, happy Christmases, depressed Christmases. Trust me, I've been in all of the different settings at the end of the year, and I'm just so grateful to be in this one. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned with me for the rest of this year and for next year. I've got so many plans for this channel. I'm so excited that I've been able to even have a channel. I'm just so grateful, y'all. I'm so happy. I've been counting my blessings a lot. Just feel so unworthy sometimes. Thank y'all. Enjoy your Christmas, and thank you for spending a small portion of it with me. Bye.